So yeah, I guess we are live now. So namaste everybody, or welcome to the channel again. And some days back we heard a very sad news that shook the conscience of the entire country. That was saddening for the very saddening and shocking for the entire country. A terrorist attack took place in the national capital of nation, which is Delhi. In so protected a place, so big a place, in the heart of the nation, I would rather say. So, in the capital city, the attack takes place near Red Fort, near the Jain Temple, near the Shishganj Gurudwara, near Chandni Chowk. Such a crucial, place in Delhi. Such an important place, which is so busy, which is so much endowed, which is full of people, full of architectural marvels, religious, tourists and religious sites. So, in such a busy place, amongst the security so tight in the national capital, the terrorists go there with so much of, the bombs, the chemical bombs, or whatever they were, you know, and they were in a car. The car was moving, and suddenly there took place a blast, and that engulfed everything around that place. I think a couple of other vehicles, a car and a auto, actually came under its influence and got burnt up. So reportedly, as of now today, and there are around 13 people who have died. And I was reading this news in the newspaper today. It is 1 o'clock, I guess. Yeah, it is 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. in the 14th of November 2025, and I am recording this. So I came across a news recently that I heard earlier as well, but I thought that let us speak something on this. So I have some questions to ask. I have some reflections which are pretty unusual, and I thought that let us speak my mind out. So don't worry, like stay sure in this video. I'm not gonna tell you that look the names that have come up of the doctors hailing from one particular place, mostly Pahalgam, I guess, having some links with each other. So the doctors having the same name, coming from the same community, having the same ideology, believing on the same faith. So having links with the terrorist organizations, and running a suspected terrorist module. So I'm not gonna ask you to reflect on this point, that why does again and again, whenever any terrorist attack take place in any part of the country, or for in world for that matter, only one set of people are responsible for that. Why is it so? So I am, though I have asked, but no, I am not going to ask or delve into this thing any further. I have a very different set of questions today, but before that, let me read out this piece of news. Let me tell you in brief, like what has happened, what has triggered me to come and ask the questions that I'm going to ask pretty soon. So let me read out this piece of news from Economic Times, which says Delhi Red Fort blast highlights updates. Delhi CM announces rupees 10 lakh ex-gratia for deceased, rupees 5 lakh for permanently disabled, rupees 2 lakh for seriously injured victims. Delhi blast highlights updates. A high intensity explosion ripped through a slow moving car at a traffic signal near Delhi's Red Fort metro station on Monday evening, killing at least 12 people and injuring 20 others, including two women. Several nearby vehicles were gutted in the blast that occurred around 6:50 p.m. on one of the busiest stretches of the capital. According to officials, the injured were rushed to Lok Nayak Jai Prakash Hospital located a few kilometers away. Preliminary investigations suggest that three people were inside the Hyundai i20 car when the explosion occurred. Police said they are probing all possible angles, including the possibility of a suicide bombing. The blast occurred in a moving Hyundai i20 car in which three people were sitting. We have not found any pellet or puncture marks on the injured, which is unusual in a blast, a senior police officer said. Eyewitnesses described the explosion as deafening, with the sound reportedly heard up to 2 kilometers away, including at ITO. The impact shattered window panes of nearby vehicles and glass panels at the Red Fort metro station. Delhi police have detained the car's owner Mohammed Salman, who said he sold the vehicle to a person in Okla named Devendra about a year and a half ago. So, yeah, that is it. Well, the heading of the article reads Delhi Redford blast highlights updates. Delhi CM announces rupees 10 lakh ex gratia for deceased. Ex gratia is an amount which is given to somebody, not as a gesture of liability when you do not owe somebody an amount, but you do a favor to somebody. You give him, you know, uh, just out of a generosity, we can say, not when you owe somebody an amount as a liability, right? So when I was reading the newspaper today, I read it quite a few times. I was reading like I read two to three newspapers, and on all of them this was the news that Delhi CM has announced rupees 10 lakh rupee to the bereaved family, to the victim family, right? I have five questions to ask, very pertinent five questions to ask. Firstly, can you put monetary value to the lives lost? Can any amount of money replace the person? A mother has lost her son, a father has lost her son, somebody has lost their parents, somebody has lost their sister, mother, or wife, somebody has lost their sibling. You know, he was not only a family member, he or she had their own ambitions, their own pursuits, professions, their own life, right to live, each and everything, you cannot think of as of now. Can you put a value to the human life? And if at all you are putting, why so? Because suppose if the person who has gone was the sole breadwinner of the family, was the sole breadwinner of the family, as it usually happens in the patriarchal society, like India or anywhere wherever you go, because most of the people who have died are men only. And as I was reading the little description of the people who have died, then one of them was businessman from the from the Chandni Chowk, from that particular area where the terrorist attack took place, and he was a businessman. His name was Kataria, some Kataria, I guess. So the leader of the business group expressed or the local political leader of that particular area, Chandni Chowk, expressed the sorrow and grief, saying that our uh, businessman brother, he has died in the attack, and our condolences to him and all. So let's take his example. If he was the businessman, assume that, as is the case in most of the cases, women do not work. Women do not work, and a man home uh, is a family with the children, right? Who are the dependent? Elderly, they are also usually dependent. So suppose if an elderly adult male member has gone, who will take care of the other members of the family? Will 10 lakh rupees suffice? This is the next question. Like the first question was, can you really put a value to the human life lost? And second thing is that if at all you are putting a value, you are going there to help, then can an amount so low as 10 lakh rupees? What is the value of 10 lakh rupees? Now, suppose a person was like 26-year old and he had just built a family, he had just married, say 2 to 3 years back, and is survived by our daughter, or say two children who are say 1 and 2 years old respectively. So, and also has parents, and most of the times parents are elderly. Of course they are elderly. Let's say they are also ailing parents. One of them could be bedridden, and now let us take into account, let us calculate the expenses for their medical expenditures, and the school and tuition fees of the children. Suppose if they had bought the home recently, and they are paying the EMIs of the car, of the vehicles. Suppose God forbid that he had a loan to repay, he had a loan to, maybe it could be the case. So what could be the various socio-economic possibilities, attached to that one particular person, which is a very usual case. It's not something hypothetical. And the points that I have told, at least like with half of the points, at least with half of the points, you would agree with me, you, me, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every Ram, Sham, or Mohan. We have such a financial situation condition with all of us. you know can a amount so meager, so low, so less as 10 lakh rupees, can it really compensate the life lost? And why are we asking for the amount at all? Why are we asking or expecting the ex gratia amount at all? And why do we have to call it ex gratia amount? Why do you have to show it as some uh, generous act, as a gesture of generosity? You means the state. I am asking it to the state. Is it not a liability upon you to do this thing, to give a compensation, a reasonable compensation which is proportionate to the damage happened? And when I ask this question, that why is it your responsibility or liability to give the due amount, which cannot be actually objectively calculated? There is no criteria, I think, as such, but it should be reasonably uh, priced. I mean, it's not a price. Sorry for to use that word. It should be reasonable in amount, right? So why is the need in the very first place to give the ex gratia amount? Because we live in a democracy, we live in a functional democracy. There is a state, and we have had a contract with the state that we will obey the rules prescribed by the state. We will follow the norms, we will pay the taxes, and in turn state will protect us and will secure our rights and will provide us the safety and security. So safety and security are the duties, fundamental duties of the state. It is the job of the state to provide us the safety and security. To whom? To the citizens, right? And we pay the taxes, we are obeying the rules. What was the fault of the person who was going back to the home through the metro from shop? What was the fault of the person who was running the rickshaw, battery rickshaw, in order to uh, you know ensure a square meal for his family comprising of 7 members? What was the fault of the person who was going to meet his ailing sister in his car that blew up uh, because of the terrorist attack? See, I am the theme of this particular video is entirely different. I'm not going on the into the origin of the attack, who attacked it, with what intentions did they attack. what organization, ideology, faith system are they associated with, what are their names, the community, the religion. These all the things are substantial things to be discussed, but I'm not discussing them in this video so as to not make it a khichdi video. I am particularly restricting and confining its contours of the broader scope to the ethical, moral, social questions around this norm or convention of announcing the ex gratia amount whenever such casualty or such incidents take place, primarily because of the flaws or loopholes or lapses in the security, in the intelligence. So this is a very pertinent question to ask, which I am asking to the state. And what is the, how do you measure that what amount is to be given to whom? It varies from state to state, doesn't it? It varies from state to state. So this is the first thing. Second thing is that shouldn't it vary from person to person? See, every life is equally important. No life is lesser important than any other. Every life is equally important. But suppose, imagine the case again. There is a guy who is, say, 28 years old, and who was the sole breadwinner of his family, and he got recently married, say 5 years back, and has got two children back at home, school going children, and now has got a family of, say, 6 to 7 members, including two children, a wife, two parents, and maybe sisters or brothers also at home. And if he is no more there, who will take care of all of them? What is the value of 10 lakh rupees? It is nothing. Even a phone, iPhone, for which people can be seen standing in long queue for long hours, you know, even a phone is priced at 1.5 lakh rupees. Usually people like the modern lifestyle of the people is such that any Tom, Dick and Harry can be seen having an iPhone in the hand. Look at the, it's not about consumerism. Look at the price rise. Look at the price rise, the inflation, the rising cost of living. Should the compensation strategy, so should the ex gratia, this amount, should it not be relooked at? Should it not, should its scope be not broadened? Should it not be made comprehensive? Should the state be not looking at some long term support to the bereaved family of the victim, instead of just giving one time money to them? Should the state be not giving or ensuring some job for some family members? Shouldn't they be provided with some medical insurances, or shouldn't they be made the beneficiary of some government schemes? Shouldn't they be given some sort of preference in government jobs or whatnot? Shouldn't it happen? I am asking this because I believe that you would also believe that, you should also believe that, at least arguably, that to some extent, if not entirely, it was the responsibility of the state also, because it is the state to ensure the security or safety of the citizens. Of course, the evil, poisonous mentality, the toxic mentality filled with hate, the religious hate or whatnot of the people involved in the terrorist attack, inspired by the uh, radical ideology, terrorist ideology. Of course, like these people are to blame. The ideology that is driving them is to blame their the people who provided them the support, the century, either explicitly or implicitly in a hideous way. They are sympathizers, they are to be blamed. All the state and non state actors, they are to be blamed. Pakistan, ISI, Jaish e Mohammed, Lashkar e Toiba, they are to be blamed, of course, primarily. But to some state, doesn't the responsibility fall on the shoulder of the state and the state agencies as well? And if it is so, then the ex gratia amount or the compensation in some other cases, for example, some stampede happens in some places, as it has happened quite a few times in the last couple of years. We heard, either in the religious congregations or during the uh, cricket match in Bangalore. It happened quite a few days back. It happened in, I guess, some temple as well in Venkateshwar or Tirupati Balaji. I don't remember the name exactly. So, if the law, if ensuring the law and order, if ensuring the uh, management, arrangement, proper arrangement, if ensuring the security, safety is the duty of a state, then is it not up to the state to uh, think about all of these questions? This is the first thing. And second thing is that what I've noticed is that in India we follow some um sickening degree of formality. We, the people are full of formality. I mean, we are at top in expressing the condolences, in you know giving the gestures which feel so good, in saying the words which feel so good, which are so good. I'm talking about all of us, and specifically the top one of us, the elite people in all the field. Take the topmost people, the renowned people from all these, every sector, be it the sports, say, be it the cinema, be them the politicians, the business groups, anybody, from any film industry, music industry, or we are not. So they all are expressing their condolences, but what will they actually do for the bereaved family and for the victims? What will these condolences, these messages that my heart reach out to you, my prayers with you, we stand with you, we all are united, and this all, the newspaper, half of the newspaper I was reading, I think the Tribune or the Chronicle, I don't remember the name exactly, was filled with the statements taken from Twitter or other social media of these elite people, of these, upper class people, coming from all the section, no, this particular elite section of the society, coming from across the board. There were cricketers, there were people from cinema, scientists, and all. So, what will these words do? What will these symbolic gestures do? Do you have something uh, concrete to give to the bereaved family, to do for the bereaved family, or only sympathies are there? I'm not saying that because it is not their duty. They aren't compelled to do anything for the bereaved family, and they aren't obliged to do. But I'm just saying that, isn't that, and isn't so, even in your personal life, you must have noticed it. No matter which class do you come from, the family members, the city dwellers, the known ones, and if something of such a great degree, on such a large level, like this particular sad incident happened, then everybody, start emoting or sharing their condolences, but seldom does anybody help the bereaved family tangibly. Again, I am saying that no money, no kind help can replace the loss of the person, but we live in a market economy. People will cry for a day or two, and they don't even cry, they don't even feel sad for even a day or two. Let me tell this very like honestly. They saw that, yeah, something happened, everybody is posting, let us post, you know let me post as well. That is it. At max for a day or two, like they will think about it, know about it, after that they will forget it. And this is the usual case. And from here only arise a second very moral and ethical question, that why do the people forget that it could be them as well, the victim of the terrorist attack? Or if it is a stampede, then the victim of the stampede. Or if it is the bridge collapse, then the victim of the bridge collapse. Or if it is a plane crash, then the victim of the plane crash. Or if it is like any uh, what do we call it, the act of God, any ugly or harmful act, any untoward unfortunate incident, then why do we, like all the people living in this society, why do we forget that it could be us as well, because it was just a matter of chance. It is like a lottery system, like this is like lottery as a positive connotation. What I'm basically saying is that we are fortunate, that is one thing. But and we all believe that. And I saw a post, not just one post, I mean, I saw a couple of posts by friends of mine saying that they are feeling blessed or fortunate that they are safe because they were there around that area uh, that particular day or a couple of days back. And even I remember when I was in Delhi, I used to make visit to that particular area, like at least uh, twice a month or so. And it is a very busy area. So we somewhere we also believe that even we could be there. No, but what do? We just thank God that we were not there. And sometimes we spiritualize these events. We become overwhelmed by the spiritual and fatalistic thoughts that we are born with good destiny, and it is our fate that we weren't there and we are safe. Maybe we had accumulated good uh, deeds, punya, what do we call in religious terms. So nothing happened to us, we are safe. And yeah, that is it. And that is it. I mean, our concern is limited to just thinking that we are fortunate, thank God, that is it. Isn't is it not our moral and social responsibility to go a step more, to go a step ahead and do something for the people who were unfortunate, who, because somebody has to die. If there are some evil forces, evil people, monstrous people, say terrorists, and they have set their mind that they are gonna blow this place up, so somebody has to die. It could be anybody. If this is not you, then is it not your responsibility, is not our responsibility to do something for the family of that person? Because what that person would be thinking, suppose like if there is something really like narak, swarg, like hell and heaven or some other world, as we saw in the children's programs, cartoons, or in some movies, that a person has died and his spirit or soul, goes there in some other world and is thinking about some other thing. It's not a part of this particular planet Earth. Of Earth has gone somewhere in the sky, in the heaven somewhere, and is observing from there. So suppose there is a person named Mohan. He has died. He survived by his wife, his ailing parents, and his two school going children, and he has got uh, debt to repay of say 8 lakh rupees. And there are many more details. Maybe he's also survived by his siblings, you know, who are unemployed. So, what that guy would be thinking from there, from heaven, he is dead, he has died, because of the terrorist attack. So, what he would be thinking? Would he be would he be happy listening to your condolences? Would he be happy listening to your condolences, or would he want some tangible help to be made, support to be extended to whom? To his family. Who do we care for? We care for our family. See, if he is not there, he would expect that at least my family live with dignity, have basic resources, have basic demands or livelihood needs fulfilled. So, is it not the responsibility of firstly the state, secondly the civil society, thirdly the society at large, the each and every member of the society, you know? So, shouldn't we go a step ahead, you know? Shouldn't we convert our the condolences, the sympathies into actions, into actions, Isn't we aren't we obsessed with, or at least limited to, aren't we limited to just tokenism or symbolism, the symbolic gestures, you know? So this is something like that we'll have to think of. And as one another critical point that comes to my mind, maybe I could be wrong. I openly accept that I could be wrong in comparing this thing, or I'm not comparing. I read a news a couple of days back when the Indian cricket team, women cricket team, won the championship. Then the player who belongs to a particular state, when she came back to that state, then the state announced, I guess, 1 crore rupees to her, or I don't know like how much, maybe somewhere around that. What I'm saying is that doesn't the state use its mind? I mean, that particular player would of course be situated well, would be earning well, and now since she has won the championship or trophy, so she would be getting the sponsorships, she would be getting the prizes, medals, the awards, rewards, felicitation, and along with the sponsorships, as I have told you, she might start her own academy, and she would has she would have the entire life left, to play games and earn more and more money. But the state is happily, eagerly giving the amount worth 1 crore rupees to that one particular living lady. I agree that she has won a great deal of honor. She has brought a lot of honor back home. There is no doubt. But the guy who has died there, say let's say in the terrorist attack in Red Fort only, he also had great deal of potential. I am raising a very ethical question. If you are biased, if you have emotions highly attached with cricket or any other field, then you can go wherever you want. I'm not using that word. Mm, but I am asking a very ethical question. Just try to understand it with an open mind. How can we say that the person who died there, he was lesser talented than the uh, athlete or the sportsman or woman who is awarded with a crore of rupees, with crores of rupees? Maybe like the person who has died there in the unfortunate incident, the terrorist attack, maybe he was even more talented. He would have brought even more glory to the nation had he been alive. But he wasn't. And why? Partially because of the lapses in the security and intelligence, which is the duty of the state to ensure. You know, so the state firstly has to understand that no amount can replace the person, but in order to ease the life of the family, in order to make the bereaved family feel that yeah, there is somebody standing with them, the state should actually do some calculation, use the mind, use the brain, and give I guess a reasonable amount of ex gratia amount, if it calls it ex gratia aid, financial aid, as some other news channels, the headings therein were reading, the financial aid, whatever, is what like I personally feel. And we as a society, instead of giving the symbolic gestures of condolences, prayers, and whatnot, instead of that, we should tangibly, monetarily, or in kind help the family. We should feel that yeah, we are fortunate, but just because we are safe and sound, it is our moral and ethical responsibility to do something for them, right? And Akshay Kumar, I guess, has done a good job, I guess, in the last terrorist attacks that took place. Akshay Kumar, an actor, a celebrity, announced that he would give some, I don't know what, but some amount of money to the families. So these are some actually good practices. It is a good precedent. Such examples should be set, and such exemplary acts by the celebrities and the elites should actually inspire other people as well to do something tangible. And what uh, we as a civil society can do, or at least the state can do, is to start a fund. If not, if state itself is not giving, can at least start a fund, on through phone pay, through paytm or whatnot, that we can do something for the family. So the people like who know the family members, or who feel that yeah, it is their responsibility, no matter even if they come from Chandni Chowk or not, Delhi or not, or even India or not, they can actually help the family. So this was all from ethical, social point of view. And I feel that media, when I read this news in the newspaper, and then on the laptop also I opened the news and read it. So each and every media channel, media house, print or digital, has captured this news, has shown this story that the CM of Delhi announced 10 lakh rupees as ex gratia amount. None of the news media, print media, has criticized it, and if it is not to criticize, then at least has expressed that is this money enough? Isn't it less? None of the media, like all have uncritically accepted it, right? So this is one appeal to the media to be lesser descriptive. To be descriptive, it is okay, but to be little bit analytical, if not critical, in your news presentation, then that would be better, uh, to shape the conscience of the people, to start a discourse, in the civil civic space, right? Because at the end of the day, it is only media that it can actually start some discourse over such issues. Otherwise, nobody gives a damn on them. So this is it. This video was on a very sensitive matter, and I am actually sorry if I have spoken anything wrong. And comment down below if you do not agree with me on any aspect. Your criticism, constructive criticism, is welcome. We live in a democracy where dissent is the pivotal, point. Um, with this, Karvit Jan signing off. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.